Got it. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Coach Basics. For those of you on the phone, this is Lorene Foreman speaking. Tonight we have some stuff on the agenda that we wanted to go over with you guys. I know one thing we had told you we were going to go over was how to use Hootsuite. So we will definitely do that. Oh, whoever just got on, just go ahead and mute your line. Thanks. Just to start off the talk, does anyone have any questions from the week, from any of the posts, from any struggles that you've been having? We're going to kind of go backwards just because there's some people I think getting on a little late. If you have a question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and ask it. No questions? All right, good. So a couple things we wanted to go over. The first thing was, as far as posting, I try to kind of check on some of your pages. I love that you guys have been tagging us when you post. Your posts have been great. Keep trying to post at least 1 to 3 times a day. 3 is your ideal number. I know you guys are just getting started, so that might seem very overwhelming to you. But right now is when you're going to start building, people are going to start building trust in you. So it's really important that you post several times a day to let people know about your lifestyle, any changes you've been making. One post should have nothing to do with it at all. You know, your family, your kids, your work, the snow, whatever you want to post about. One post should be something inspirational, and one post should be something related to what you're doing to better your life, whether you mention Beachbody or whether it has to do with, you know, you went for a walk that day, whatever it is, but something positive. As far as, let me just peek and see what else we were going to talk about today. All right, so there's a lot of tools in the back office. The one tool that I wanted to make sure you guys knew about, if you look in your back office, there's something called your 10 in play. Do people know about that? Just thumbs up if you know about your 10 in play. Thumbs up if you do, thumbs down. Okay, great. I'm glad I brought it up then. So if you go in the back office, and we can even post it in the files on in the Coach Basics. There's something called the 10 in play. And what that is you always want to have 10 people that you're actively working towards getting either as a customer or as a coach, or that are going to say no to you. So you want to come up with 10 people, and those are your 10 people that you're targeting. And what I do with those 10 people is I actually put them in a separate Facebook stream. Do people know how to do that? Thumbs up if you do, thumbs down if you don't. Do people know how to create a separate Facebook stream? Not everyone does? Okay. That's something we'll definitely go over then. And I will show you guys how to do that. But I create a separate Facebook stream. Sorry, you just lost my face there. So that you guys don't get lost in the news feed. I think I mentioned that yesterday to you guys. What happens a lot is, and I've mentioned this before on calls, we get lost in the news feed and all of a sudden 2 hours pass and we think we've been working for 2 hours and we've really just been wasting time for 2 hours. So what you want to do is come up with your 10 in play. You know, you have Joe, Jen, whoever, you have these 10 people that you're trying to target. And until you get a no from them, those are the 10 people that you're working with. And there's actually a document for this. Once someone says no to you, you move them off your 10 in play and you move someone new into your 10 in play. So it's just a good way to kind of narrow your focus so you're not trying to target everyone at the same time and you're constantly moving people on and off of that list. So that's the first thing. The other documents, you guys know about the memory jogger? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Anyone? Yeah? No, okay, so not everyone knows. So another document that's back there is something called the memory jogger. And what that is it basically just lists every possible way you could have ever met someone. And literally they tell you to write down everyone you know. It could be your friends' kids. It could be anyone. Because if you write down your 6-year-old friend, you know, your 6-year-old's friend, well, then all of a sudden you remember that you know their mom, who knows this person, who knows that person. So it's just a way to really expand your target list. So what I would challenge each of you to do is try to make a list of at least 50 people. They could be people that you swear you would never in a million years reach out to about Beachbody, but at least 50 people that you know. It doesn't have to be people that you think right now you would actually reach out to. All right, so what we promised you guys today we were going to work on, the first thing I want to go over with you is Hootsuite. So what Hootsuite is, for those of you that don't know, is there anybody who's using Hootsuite yet? No? Okay. What Hootsuite is it's a great way to pre-schedule all of your posts. What I mentioned last week is you don't want to do that for your daily posts on your wall because Facebook will not give as much attention to it. So it will quickly get bumped out of the news feed. But when you are eventually running a challenge group or when you are running like a Coach Basics group, Hootsuiting is a great way to have all the posts done at once. You'll notice that all the posts come up from Karen. that's because she Hootsuited this particular Coach Basic. So she went, for an hour one day and posted all the posts in, and they automatically pop up for you guys every day. And then we add in things throughout the weeks as we see what you guys engage in. We add videos or we'll add extra posts to try to help you guys out. But there's, the basics of the course are all in our back office, and we just Hootsuite them. So I am going to try to screen share with you guys again. I'm getting good at this screen sharing thing.
I have mine up. Do you want me to do mine?
Sure. Do you want to do it? I have mine up here, but let me see if it works. Let's see what's happening. All right. Is it on there? Can you guys see it?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So this is called Hootsuite. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to www.hootsuite.com. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here to this little airplane. And this airplane is called Publisher. Do you guys all have pen and paper? Because this you really want to write down. I'll give you guys a minute to grab that if you don't have it. Okay. So over here, you're going to go to Hootsuite.com and you're going to go to this little airplane that says Publisher. You're going to click on Publisher. Now, I did log in before you guys got on, but that's pretty easy to do. You can log in. I log in right through Facebook. And by doing that, it links my Hootsuite to my Facebook. So what I'm going to do is come over here to select this little drop-down arrow, and I'm going to hit Add Social Network. Right here, I'm going to hit to connect with Facebook. Log into your Facebook. So these are all the groups that I'm in. Okay, so let's say right now I want to add something to this 21-day fixed coach challenge group. I would click on that. Okay, and then I would just finish importing. I probably have too many in here. So these are the different groups that I have right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to figure out which group you want to do. So let's say I want to do this PIO group. If I'm going to do, so like if I was going to Hootsuite a whole month, I would do what's called pinning it. So right here, there's this little pin, which says always select, and I could just do that. So now every time I do a post, it's always going to go into that PIO group. So for instance, if I was Hootsuiting an entire challenge group, I'd want to pin it. If I'm Hootsuiting different groups, I might not want to pin it. So that's your choice whether you want it to be in every one or not, the pin or unpin. What I'm then going to do is put a message in here. I have a great day. Now let's say there is an image you want. When you have an image, you're going to copy and paste that link and you're going to put it in here. So I guess I should show them how to do that, huh, Kara? Yeah, okay. Let me open up another. Do you have something open to do that? No, okay, let me open up a link for you guys. Okay, so here's a link, an image. Can you guys see this? Do you guys see this image? Do you see that? No, okay. Thank you. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get to one that will be really easy for you guys to. Okay, do you guys see this image now? Do you see the multi-group?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, great. So this is what we were talking about last week when we were talking about the challenge group guides. So this is a great example of how to do it. trying to find an image here that, okay, so here's an example. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to right click. Why isn't this letting me do it, Karen? You're so much more the computer person than I am.
You should have to open it first. I always have to open it from these first and then copy it from the browser up top.
There we go. All right, so it's opening the image. Can you guys see that? And I'm just going to copy it. Okay, I'm just going to go way back to Hootsuite now, so give me a second to get back there. Too many things open. Can you guys see my Hootsuite?
No, your screen share is done.
All right, I might have to have you take over on this because you're so much better at this stuff.
Of course, I just closed out of Hootsuite. Hold on.
What about now? Do you see it? Do you
We
see
see your
Hootsuite?
screen now, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna come to here. You're gonna go back to this, and right here you're gonna put the link. Okay, so that's the link that I just copied and I pasted it here, and you're gonna hit shrink. And that's just gonna put the link in here so that when you post it, you don't have all those really, really long links. And then you're just gonna click on this little calendar to schedule it. You're gonna pick the day and the time and hit schedule. So let's say we wanted to do it at 11:20 tonight. You're gonna hit schedule and your post is scheduled. And you can just do a whole entire group right there. Play around with it if you have questions. I know that was a little bit choppy. Do you want me to go over it again without a link one time? Okay. So you're gonna come over here to Publisher, click Publisher. You're gonna come down here and select which group you wanna do. You're either gonna pin it or unpin it. You're gonna put your message in here. Come over to this little calendar. You can pick whatever date you want, March 5th at 9:25 a.m. And all you're gonna do is hit schedule. And then you can see right here that it's scheduled.
And it may seem daunting just to do that for one little day, but like Lorraine said, if you're going on vacation for a week, you know, and you want to not totally be off for a week, but, you know, if you know there's times that you're not going to be able to post something and you want to put it in, I would sit down and post it all at one time. Like Lorraine said, I did, you know, the training stuff, the basics that they give us from the back office. I sat one day for an hour and a half and Hootsuite'd the entire 45 days, which I wasn't positive, or I didn't do my pins exactly right. So a couple of days you guys got them later because they actually pinned to a clean eating group that I had in there and had to copy and paste them. But, you know, I learned my lesson from that. And so now I know about, you know, making sure I pin and unpin which ones. The free version of it, which I only have the free version, only allows you to have 3 groups that you're working with at a time. So that's to keep in mind. You can delete one group, like I'm not doing my clean eating one. So if I have something else I want to throw Hootsuite in, I can add it now, but only if I delete it because I have Coach Basics and another group that I'm working with right now as well. So it's really good for planning ahead of time. It's always good to plan ahead of time anyway. So, you know, and if you are having trouble and you really want to use this, just check in with either of us and we can help you out.
The other thing that's nice too is if you are running multiple groups and you just want to do, you know, some real casual post, you can actually Hootsuite it to all 3 groups at the same time. So that saves you some time as well. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? Does anyone have any questions in general?
How many of you, I know that several of you who are following along are on top of it, and some of you caught up, which is really awesome too. How many of you really, since we posted about the Power Hour and scheduling it in, have stuck to that? Thumbs up if you did, and if you're on the phone, say yes or no.
But unmute first.
All right. Well, I don't hear from anybody on the phone, but I know it's hard to unmute sometimes. You gotta scroll around, but just make sure you keep doing that. It's really important. It'll become a habit. It'll become easy to focus when you're doing it every day. And I know some people have split it up into 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 4 times. That's perfect too. Just make sure you know which piece you're taking on each 15 minutes that you're separated throughout the day.
The other thing I would recommend, what I did is I printed out that Power Hour sheet and laminated it, and I literally just use a dry erase and go through it each day. Just because it's so easy to get lost with what you're doing.
So I have a little bit, and Lorraine, I'm throwing this at you right now, but I have an idea for next week's Zoom, and I will post it so that everybody will try and be on it. I would like you to, between now and this weekend, try and connect with somebody else who's in the group, and maybe set up a little role play, or at least practice role playing, because I know a lot of you have been posting about difficulty kind of talking with other people and sharing and answering questions. And it's really difficult unless we do it. I absolutely hate role playing. I told you that day one, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. You can set up questions you want to ask. You can set up what you're talking about, whether it's Shakeology, whether it's a program, whether it's inviting to a free challenge group, but by voice, not by Instagram or Facebook or any of those things. People really get so much more when we talk to them on the phone or in person, and they connect with you so much better. So I personally too, and I will do it with somebody too if they don't have a partner as well. You steps out of your comfort zone even more when you are getting face-to-face or on the phone with somebody and really talking. And the more practice you have, the better you're going to do. So I will post that, after we get off the phone too, for everybody who couldn't make it as well. Don't avoid next week's Zoom, or maybe I won't even tell you when we're going to do it, and maybe we won't do it next week, so you don't just not show up because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. But I challenge you to connect with somebody and come up with a little role play that involves sharing, you can make up the questions ahead of time and just start practicing with each other. Try to connect one time on the phone between now and next Tuesday. And we'll see what happens. I know that it really helped me when I was doing that in Coach Basics, and I still need to practice with it. So I'm going to throw it out there, and you might all be angry with me, but we're going to do this.
One other thing I wanted to bring up on this call, because I think it's good to do early on, is something called a success partner. And this is a great way to start it, with having someone that you're going to practice the role play. It's really nice if you can find someone else, and it's great for you guys because you guys are all pretty much at the same point. If you can find someone who's your partner in this business, and it will change throughout your business, your success partner will change many times. I think I'm on like my 4th or 5th one. But it's really nice if you can find one person, and we can put a list up in Coach Basics. And this is someone that you should try to have a call with every week. Someone that you'll go over with, what you're reading. Someone that basically holds you accountable on a week-to-week basis. You can tell them like where you are with Success Club. You talk about what you're reading. You talk about what you're struggling with, and you kind of push each other and set goals for each other. I can tell you my success partner set like a financial goal for me, one of my success partners. I was underestimating my ability, and she kind of called me out on it and, pushed me, and the goal she set for me, I've hit every month plus since she set it. So I think it's really nice if you guys will start with someone from this group. I think would be the best way to start with a success partner. And then as your business develops, you can obviously switch. But I think especially for the next 30 days when we're in this group, we should all pair up and try to get on the phone with one person at least once a week, the same person, just to try to hold each other accountable. I think it breaks it down a little bit more, makes it a little bit smaller. And you guys are all at this kind of daunting point in your business where it's scary and you're in the unknown, and it's scary to reach out to people, and it's scary to invite, and it's also new, and it's also overwhelming. And I think having someone to process that with who's going through it at the same time is really helpful. So I will put a list up in Coach Basics for that as well. And I just want you each to try to find someone, preferably someone you don't know, to be your success partner for at least the next 30 days. And like I said, after that, you can totally have someone different. But for the next 30 days, let's just try to have someone in this group be your partner.
So if you have been seeing people's posts in the group that you think would either push you or drive you or you just really relate to, reach out to them within the next day or two and ask them to be your success partner. If you are accepting and somebody's asking you, don't accept more than one person. If more than one person asks you, refer them back to the group and just tell them you have connected with somebody. And Lorraine and I can help anybody try to match up the best that we can. We can go off of how we see people posting, and we can talk to uplines about what qualities would be good. So just connect with us if you're really unsure. Other than that, reach out and we will put like Lorraine said, she'll put a file together, and you can, once you have a success partner, put your names together in that list so that we know who's taken.
And I mean, I think I think later on there is a personality thing, and that does help with your success partner. But initially, I think it's just good to have someone.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Does anyone have any more questions before we jump off? No? Okay. You guys are all doing great. Just try to stay involved. Try to stay active. Definitely as Coach Basics goes on, you see the engagement go down a little bit. So really try to check the posts. Really try to comment, even if it's just something as simple as read or, just something so we know you've seen it. We know you've gotten information out of it, just to help us realize who's keeping along and who's kind of struggling.
And before you hang up, the only person I'm not sure who you are is 860-733-3269.
I got on mute. I don't even know if they're still on.